Okay, go.
My year as Steak and Burger chairman for Boys and Girls Clubs of Memphis was 1985. Terry Bradshaw was the guest speaker. Terry had a successful football career as a quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, as we all know, from 1970 to 1983. So he was still a very recognizable individual. So we got it all prepared. The dinner was sometime in February, mid-February, at the what is now the Hilton Hotel. Was in the Hyatt Hotel out on Ridgefield, and I arranged to pick Terry up at Memphis International Airport. Those were the days when you could literally walk to the gate and pick someone up. And Terry came in on a big DC-8, which was a long stretch Delta jet that they used to fly. And they had a lot of people on that plane, and it deplaned. The crew got off, and I said, "Oh my God, Terry Bradshaw's not on the plane." And I asked one of the gate agent and one of the flight attendants, and I said, "But I'm here to pick up Terry Bradshaw." And one of the flight attendants said, "Well, he's back on the floor under his seat." And I went, "What?" And she said, "Yeah, he can't find his contact lenses." So I got to go on the plane, and that's how I met Terry Bradshaw. And there he was on his knees, and he said, "I found him." And he apologized profusely for holding me up. And from the plane, we went to Barksdale Boys Club first, then we went to Dixie Homes, and then we went to Samuelson. So he got to see 3 of the boys clubs. He got to interact with the kids. He was absolutely fabulous. He was fantastic. You know, down on the floor, down on his knees. The kids loved it. He was staying at the Hyatt, but the next day he was leaving to fly to Alaska to be a commentator for the Iditarod dog trails up in Alaska. He said, I need a warm coat. You know where I can get a warm coat and gloves. So I took him to old Tommy Bronson's Sporting Goods, which at that point in time was down on Union across from Wild Smith drugstore. So we went in there. He caused a big scene and fuss because everyone knew who he was. And then he said, "I need to go to a drugstore and get a whole bunch of stuff." So I took him to the Super D drugstore out on Poplar, across from Dan West. And I went in there with him, and he said, "I'm probably going to be about 20 minutes. Well, an hour later, we got out of there because the druggist put on the microphone, "Ladies and gentlemen, we have a celebrity in our midst. We have the great football player, star Terry Bradshaw." And all these people were coming up with these little mini footballs that you could buy at Super D, and he was autographing. He said, "Did you arrange all this?" I said, "No, you're the one who told me you needed to go to the drugstore." So we got him checked in at the hotel, and then obviously we had the steak and burger dinner that night, and he did an incredible job. He wrote a very nice letter that I've got somewhere saved, thanking me for taking care of him in Memphis. And we had a great time, and we went out afterwards, and then we had breakfast the next morning, and I put him on the plane, and he flew to Alaska. So that's my great story for the steak and burger dinner in 1985.